Another day and another anime that is getting overhyped, and the fans of the anime and of the work are getting too excited and doing something that actually makes them the laughingstock of the entire community. The same happened with the Spy Family, and the same is happening on a very weird scale now on Oshinoko. A very good manga, a good read. I do recommend you read it. I made a video on that in my Farsi channel not so long ago. But the thing is, to give a 10 out of 10 rating on one episode, on the same website that is a piece of shit and actually has one of the worst scoring systems ever, it just kind of gives you the vibe that the people following the anime of that certain work, Oshinoko in this case, must be pretty toxic to do that, or just some edgy teenagers. It pains me to say that as someone that actually loves the work and is kind of getting ongoing on the manga. And we had that before. We had that for Spy Family, and I have made a video on this issue in over my Persian channel. I will try to get into that later on. I'm not gonna translate the video probably because I don't think many of you will be watching that. But anyway, the thing is, we have Oshinoko, a good manga, getting branded as a bad anime or overhyped anime just because of the people following and the people decided to give it a 10 out of 10 ranking. The first issue we have here, first of all, of course, it's the fan base. It's the people that have decided to do that. Of course, not every single person that loves the manga is going to do that or has done that, but a sizable portion probably has done that, and we're gonna talk about that right now. Okay, so we have the list. We have Oshinoko, we have Fullmetal Alchemist, we have Shingeki no Kyojin final season. So here's the thing. Let's just take a look at Fullmetal Alchemist and before going into Oshinoko. When you look at the list, it says 3 million members, and for Oshinoko is 150,000 members. And here's the funny thing, that's not the amount of people that have voted on the anime. You open up Fullmetal Alchemist, that's close to 2 million. That's like a bit more than half. We move to Oshinoko, and this is gonna get pretty crazy, and you're gonna get pretty triggered if you are not aware of what's happening in this website. And I'm gonna explain why the system is this way. We have Oshinoko, and that's like 20k people. 20k people voted on Oshinoko, and the thing they got is 938 and blah blah blah. And it's the first, right now is in the ranked first in the list. For some reason, people tend to think that an anime being higher up on the list means that the anime is better or it's not better. Full disclaimer again, I do love the manga. I have heard that the anime, the first episode was a banger, but I have not watched it yet. I'm not going to comment on that. What actually pains me is the attitude I am seeing right now, and people not being educated enough to actually look at the data. Because look, this is not the case of a website being, let's say, a good litmus test for if anime is good or not. And I'm going to repeat that again. An anime being first in this list doesn't really change anything or mean anything. But here's the thing, if you have a website that doesn't have weight score, a 20k vote outperforms a 2 million vote. And that's just plain, I can't say the word, I would be demonetized or maybe even banned. That's just not very smart, let's say. And you go to stats, and it's a pretty obvious case of review bombing. But what pains me is people using this as an excuse to, first of all, hey, is this a good anime? Or, hey, the fandom of X and Y anime are salty because Oshinoko is in the very top. No, it's not. Look at that. That's like 400 votes that now that I'm counting of people that have given a 1 on Oshinoko. It's not like the 2 million people that voted on Fullmetal Alchemist or the many people that voted on the different seasons of Shingeki no Kyojin just appeared out of nowhere, gave it a 1 and made it all go down and shit. That doesn't happen. We had the same situation with Bleach. For some reason, Bleach was in the first position in my anime list with not that many votes again, and now is the 5th one. The funny part is not many people voted on Bleach either, but it was there for like 1.5 months or something. And even funnier, even more interesting is that, hey, that wasn't even 200k people that voted on Bleach. Same happened with Bocchi the Rock, anime that many of you love and seem to have the misconception that is a deep psychological take on social anxiety, that it is not. In no way it's a deep or even close a little bit a good take on social anxiety. I will go into that later on. But here's the thing, my anime list is shit when it comes to scoring and stuff. I do love my anime list because I have been active on my anime list for a long time, since before 2012. I guess it was in 2011 or something. And I do use it to keep track of what I have watched and what I have read and what I am reading right now. But as something to actually measure different anime against each other, nah, I wouldn't do that. And the funniest part is, here's the thing. Over at the Persian community, Farsi community, like roughly 2 years and a half ago, many of you might have seen that happen. On the manga list, my platform was much smaller. I had like 3,000 subs on over there. That now it's like 15k or something. I did a little something. I did a little trolling. I asked my audience, not that many of them, that hey, what if we just picked up a manga, an obscure manga that not many people even know about, and review bombed it out of hell. And that was a social experiment we did. We could get it to rank 11 or 12 on the mangas, and Jesus man, people were salty as fuck. We did that, and I think I can publish the video here too, if I'm not wrong, because if I'm not wrong, I do have a English sub on that. I could do that too. So we did that. You can watch the video. And it took them, I think, 2 or 3 days to actually realize what was happening and shut it down. And we actually review bombed that. And I left, on the forum, I left like a shit and stuff too. And people actually, my audience actually, when the fans were like, yeah, we are doing that. We were acknowledging what we were doing. It took them a while to review, to fix the situation. Some people thought like, hey, is this a good manga? And we were like, bro, what? People are actually living this shit? So this is what happens. It could happen with Oshinoko. Hell, right now, over at my Persian channel, I'm recording a Farsi one after this one, a Farsi video after this one. I could ask my audience. Now it's like close to, it has passed 15k. On Twitch I have 20k or something. On Instagram I have 50k again. And all in all, I do have a minimum of 50k audience. If I ask them to do something like this, and hell, there's like a 2k people. I have a club, I have a my analyst club here too, you can check it out if you want. I could ask them to review bomb Oshinoko. Give it the one and sending down on the list. I do ask you again, the scores that people leave here are a good measure, but if you are a fan of Oshinoko, please don't do this. This is not a good example of people being a fan of something. That's just being plain toxic. It's just pretty stupid, to be honest. I can understand someone giving a 10 or 9 or something on Shingeki no Kyojin that's like 2 parts, 2 episodes, and later on change it, but 1 episode out of 11, and like that, it's just not a good thing. And again, I do repeat, it's not a case of the fandoms of Attack on Titan and Fullmetal Alchemist attacking other fandoms. It's not happening. You see the score stats and they are not even there, man. It's just plain stupid. Just don't go believing shit like, yeah, the fandom of Attack on Titan and Attack on blah 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 is doing this and that and that. Don't do that. That's just plain. I was going to cancel myself again. I stopped myself just barely from doing that. All in all, for some reason my enemy list is never going to change the shitty system they have, even though I did try to make it as an example to kind of give them a, let's say, heads up that hey, change that, raise the score please, this is plain bad, but they never did that. There are many people out there actually that have suggested better systems for my enemy list, but they just don't give a shit, and that's just bad. And again, as a fan of Oshinoko or any other anime, don't go blaming other fandoms for what is happening. And I do ask you, if you have not watched or read Oshinoko, give it a chance and don't be fooled by the toxic people trying to portray this image that you are seeing right now, that we have on the screen, that is bad. Very bad. Thank you for watching the video. I would appreciate if you would comment on it and let me know what you think about this issue. And as I say in Farsi, Shabbatun Bakhair, Rustum Bakhair.